Alright, I want to start this lesson off by saying all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, the great millstone that rule well. I say shalom to the brothers out there teaching and preaching the truth worldwide. I want to say shalom to the hopeful elect. Today's lesson is entitled, Not Many Noble Are Called. So, I'm going to start off with this scripture. 1 Corinthians 1 and 26 and 27. For ye see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called. So what's that saying? In this current society, Nick Cannon, Deshaun Jackson, Ice Cube, etc., they would be considered, the noble in this current kingdom here in Esau Edom. But the Most High had chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise, and the Most High had chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. So the way the Lord has it set up, He chose the actual what the world will call common people. People who they might work at Walmart. Some people, brothers, they might have their degrees. They might be doctors or might have good positions in this current kingdom, but for the most part they would consider us to be foolish out there on the street corners, preaching this word. So that's why the scriptures say, but the Most High had chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. See, Nick Cannon, he couldn't even confound them. See what I'm saying? He knows that he's an Israelite, but when he got put on the fire, see what I'm saying, he folded up. See what I'm saying? So he wasn't rooted in the doctrine. So when they pressed him and they started taking away his goodies, he folded. See what I'm saying? So he could have brought out a couple of scriptures that could have shut it all down. But what? He's not rooted in this truth. That's why the Most High set it up that way. And I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna read. Continue on reading down. And base things of the world and things which are despised hath the Most High chosen, yea, and things which are not, to bring to naught things that are. Here's the kicker, the key, that no flesh should glory in His presence. So that's the reason why the Lord set it up like that. He didn't have it where someone of Nick Cannon status or Deshaun Jackson status or whoever might be considered noble to actually have the truth, because then they would be put themselves up on a pedestal. So the Lord chose the actual base things of the world to confound the mighty, that to confound the wise. See what I'm saying? That's the way that's how the Lord set it up. So all Nick Cannon had to do, if he actually had to went into the scriptures and brought it out, but he's not rooted in it. So the first precept I'm gonna pull, I'm just gonna jump in right here in Numbers 12 and 9. And the anger of Yahweh was kindled against them, and he departed. And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam, which is Moses' sister, became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. And Aaron said unto Moses, Alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us, wherein we have done foolishly, and wherein we have sinned. So right then and there, Nick could have brought those couple of scriptures out, and he could have asked him. So according to, before I get into this point, I'm gonna read what he said. Cannon added, while the Jewish experience encompassed more than 5,000 years, and there is so much I have yet to learn, I have at least a minor history lesson over the past few days. So since they said that, so explain to me in this 5,000 year history, when did the Jews become white? because right here it says, and the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. So obviously she was dark skinned. So within this 5,000 year history, when did they become white? So they need to produce that evidence, since they have 5,000 years worth of history. See what I'm saying? So Nick, you could have brought that out. Since they say they got 5,000 years worth of history, they should be able to prove when they became white. Because this scripture, and it proves another thing. It said, lay not this sin upon us. So to actually have white skin, that's a sin. Scripture just said it. See what I'm saying? Nick, you could have brought those couple scriptures out and you could have shut it down. But nope, you fold it up. I'm getting the next precept. Micah 4:10 says, be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail. For now shalt thou go forth out of the city is Jerusalem, and thou shalt dwell in the field. The field is the world, and thou shalt go even to Babylon. So Daniel was in the Babylonian captivity. So it said, and Jeremiah was the prophet on the scene before they went into the Babylonian captivity. So it says, and thou shalt go even to Babylon, there shalt thou be delivered. There Yahweh shall redeem thee from the hand of thy enemies. So you should have asked him that question. When did the Lord come back to deliver Daniel them from the Babylonian captivity? They got 5,000 years worth of history. It should be in one of their pages, one of their books, somewhere. They should be able to produce that document and say, here, this is when it happened. They can't produce it because the Lord didn't come back to deliver the Israelite from the Babylonian captivity, because it wasn't talking about the ancient Babylonian captivity. It was talking about this Babylon captivity, America, Babylon the Great. You know what I'm saying? So he couldn't confound them. Instead, he folded. Next precept. Could have went to Jeremiah. Okay, Jeremiah 16:14. Therefore, behold, the days come, said Yahweh, that it shall no more be said, Yahweh liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. So why are they still making movies? Let me continue reading. But the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their lands that I gave unto their fathers. So the scripture said that the Israelites, they won't be talking about the exodus from Egypt, because it said, therefore behold, the days come, said the Lord, that it shall no more be said. So you're not going to talk about that exodus. The Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north. Where's the land of the north? Let's talk about America, North America, Babylon the Great. So I'm saying, so people, they still make reference to the exodus from ancient Egypt. You're going to have some people going to say, I don't believe that the land of the north is North America. Well, we got a precept for that. Zechariah 2, verse 6. It says, ho, ho, come forth and flee from the land of the north, said Yahweh, for I have spread you abroad as the four winds of the heaven, said Yahweh. Deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon. So the Israelites, Babylon the Great, daughter of Babylon, and the land of the north is synonymous. That's where they're at. They're in the land of the north, which is called the daughter of Babylon. And then some in Revelation it's called Babylon the Great. So that's where they will be delivered from. So you could have brought that out. In the last scripture I'm gonna get This is the Songs of Solomon. Songs 1 and 1. It says, the Song of Songs, which is Solomon. So these are Solomon's words. So, Songs of Songs 1 verse 5 says, I am black but comely, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. So Solomon said, I am black but comely. He said, I'm black but beautiful. O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. So when you go into this word Kedar, just look it up. It says Kedar equals dark. So he's saying that if you Google the tents of Kedar, you see black tents. So he said he's black but beautiful, like the tents of Kedar. The word Kedar equals black. It's also a son of Ishmael, the descendants of Kedar. So they got 5,000 years worth of history. They should be able to produce when the Israelites turn white. See what I'm saying? So they should be able to produce that evidence. Now we do know we do have Israelites that we spread through the four corners of the world, that Israelites will have, quote unquote, they will look like Edomites, or they will look like so-called white people. But for the most part, the southern kingdom, which they portraying to be, are the Jews. That's the Negro tribes. See what I'm saying? So they should be able to produce within this 5,000 year history worth of information. They should be able to say, okay, this year, that's when they turn white. So hopefully this lesson was edifying. Till next time, Shalom.